Hey guys, what's going on? Today I have an album review for Deeds of Flesh's Mark of the Legion. Background listing Inveracity, Circle of Perversion. So anyways, this is Deeds of Flesh's fourth full-length album. It's really damn good. I wouldn't say it's their best, but out of their classic era, it's a pretty good album. Not as good as Trading Pieces or, Inbreeding Anthropophagy or what's it called, fucking Reduced to Ashes, but it's still a really solid album. I'd say I like this one a little more than Path of the Weakening. Maybe not, I don't know, I'd probably need to listen to Path of the Weakening a little more, but this one I know pretty well and it's really good. Album cover is alright, probably one of their weaker ones. It's a cool John Zig design with that emblem, but there's some artwork on the inside of this CD that I think would have been a better album cover, so I'll show. But there's the back, picture of the band, very late 90s, early 2000s looking. I want to say this came out in like 2000 or 2001, probably 2001. Cool disc cover, just simple black and white logo and album title like that. You got the emblem again with this quote underneath it. Let me read that. It says, "I saw before me a forest of crucifixes which turned into trees. At first there appeared to be dew or rain dripping from the branches, but as I approached I realized it was blood. A man went to each tree, catching the blood. The whole forest began to," it's kind of hard to read because the jewel case gets in the way. Began to ride the news more blood. When the cup was full, he came to me. Or when the cup was full, he came to me. Drink, he said. So that's kind of cool little morbid quote right there. Matches well with the lyrics of this album. They're not glorious, but they're a little more like historical and like epic sounding, which is kind of the direction that Deeds of Flesh went in later on. And obviously the early stuff is a lot edgier, but I think I prefer the earlier lyrics, but this stuff's still cool, but front. It opens up into like a, it folds out instead of being a booklet. So you have pictures of each band member. So you got Eric right there, Jacoby, Mike Hamilton. Now, the artwork on this side of the message show, I think this would have been a better album cover. This looks fucking sick. I wish they had used this for the album cover, but I guess they used it for a lyric sheet instead. But this is like such a better piece of artwork. This probably looks like it was done by John Zig. But yeah, pretty cool. So anyways, this booklet back in. This one kind of continues in the direction that Path of the Weakening went in, but I'd say this one is a little bit, the songwriting's a little stronger, a little bit more memorable. I feel like some of the chugs that weren't quite on Path of the Weakening as much, they bring them back on here, but instead of being more slammy like they are on like Trading Pieces or Gradually Melted, on here they kind of use the chugs as like a little accent inside of the tremolo pick riff, which I think is really a unique way of writing riffs. I think it's really cool. But musically, this pretty much sounds like you'd expect a Deeds of Flesh album to. A lot of really swingy triplet blasts, tremolo picked riffs with some chugs in there. Awesome vocals from Eric Lindmark and Jacoby. Jacoby's highs are just really feral and crazy sounding, and Eric's lows are pretty standard death metal lows, but they're just done very well. Production-wise, I'd say this one is a little different sounding for Deeds of Flesh, because this one is a little bit less thin and nimble sounding and more chunky and meaty sounding, which is weird, because it's just as fast, but it doesn't feel quite as nimble and like quick, just because the production's a lot bassier and a little more warm sounding than usual. It's a little bit less thin and trebly. The bass tone is a lot thicker, same with the drum sound, and the guitars as well are a lot chunkier and meatier, which isn't a bad thing at all, but for a Deeds of Flesh album it's a little different, because most of the time they have a more thin sounding production, like on the next album, Reduced to Ashes, which I'll be reviewing next. And I think this album definitely shows what would be to come on Reduced to Ashes. It almost feels like a precursor to that album, because this album is epic and has melody, especially tracks like the title track, Fulfilled in Warfare, and Master of Murder. I'll have these really like memorable but like epic, grandiose sounding melodies that are really cool. Not like stupid grandiose. It doesn't sound like some sort of like power metal or something, but it's like it's a little bit more like, I don't know how to explain it. It's a little more like a cool, like epic, big like Lord of the Rings type of epic, but without being super corny and like campy. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it gives me like Indiana Jones kind of vibes. I think that's a better way to put it. Cleansed by Fire, one of the strongest songs on here. Just a really great way to open the album. A lot of memorable riffs in there. The title track might be my favorite. It's either between the title track, Mark Luigi, and Master of Murder are the best songs on here, I'd say. There's a few samples on here. There's like some like wind sound effects. I believe the title track has some like, I can't tell if it's somebody getting stabbed or like a sword fight or something. I think it's Spewing Profligacy. Has like the sample that's like this like pitch shifted voicing, like something like "Do you think killing is wrong?" or something like that. So this album, they still had that like edge that they kind of lost a little later. It's not necessarily horror themed, but it's still like dark. Sorry if I'm so fucking sweaty. It's like over 100 degrees right now. Shitty California weather. Besides the point. This is a really solid album. I think it's a little better than Path of the Weakening, but not as good as Reduced to Ashes. Because I think Reduced to Ashes was like masterful. So I think Path of the Weakening and this album are both pretty good albums. They're not the best Deeds of Flesh albums, but they sound like Deeds of Flesh albums and they're solid. But I think this is like what would be to come on Reduced to Ashes, because they mastered this type of sound on Reduced to Ashes, but with more nimble, traditional style Deeds of Flesh production. And on here, it still sounds like a Deeds of Flesh album, but it's just a little different. It's a little bit chunkier and a little meatier sounding, which makes it feel a little bit like, I don't know, just beefier than usual and less like nimble and sharp, like on pretty much any of their other albums from the classic era. But this is still a really solid album. I'd probably give it like an 8 or maybe 8.5 out of 10. If this had a better album cover, it might be one of my favorites. I don't know. It's really damn good. It isn't my favorite, but it is probably like their fourth best album, maybe. It's pretty good. I don't like it as much as the first two or Reduced to Ashes, but it's pretty damn good. Or obviously not as much as the Gradually Melted EP, but, you know, solid album though. 8 out of 10. If you like Deeds of Flesh, you don't have to be a hardcore fan to enjoy this album. If you're into them, I would recommend listening to this. I know it's not their most popular or well-known, but it's well worth a listen. If you like Deeds of Flesh, you will like this album. There's really nothing not to like about this. It's just a really solid album. So yeah, like I already said, 8 out of 10. Pretty good album. Not the best. There's not really anything that holds it back from being super great. There's nothing about it that's really bad, but it's just they have albums that are better. And that's one of the things with Deeds of Flesh. Their first 5 or 6 albums are pretty much all flawless, but some of them are just a little bit better than the others. That some of them just have that extra touch in the songwriting that's just amazing. And I think this one, it still has really good songwriting, but nowhere near as good as they would be on the next album. I can't wait to review Reduced to Ashes, though. I love that album so much. But yeah, that's it for this video. Quick review. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Bye.